Edward VII's bathtub of sin, champagne, courtesans, and the world's most decadent splash zone. Or when the heir to the throne became the human bubble machine. Darling, if you think today's influences are a bit too much with their avocado baths and spa days, prepare your fainting couch, because history's original tub-thot was none other than His Royal Highness Dirty Bertie, future King Edward VII. And let me tell you, this man did not bathe. He performed aquatic debauchery. This is not just a story, it's a splashy saga of royal gluttony, Belle Époque Parisian filth, and a bathtub that could have doubled as a small cruise ship. Le Chabanais, Paris's Temple of Thirst. Bertie didn't go to brothels, he christened them. And Le Chabanais wasn't just any brothel, it was the Beyoncé of Bordello. Decorated like Versailles if Marie Antoinette had been really into strip poker. This 5-star house had themed rooms, erotic furniture, and gold leaf on everything. Even the shame came gilded. Naturally, Bertie had his own custom suite, because when you're a 300-pound prince with a libido the size of Belgium, you don't just book a room, you create an experience. The tub heard round the world. Now, let's talk about the bathtub. No, not just a tub. This was a monument to moist monarchy. Solid copper, larger than life, sculpted with a full-size swan-headed nude woman who looked like she'd just emerged from a very confusing Greek myth and was now silently judging your body confidence. It looked like Aphrodite designed it during a drunken weekend in Greece. This wasn't bathing, it was a ritual debauchery with plumbing. And did it hold water? No, it held champagne. Yes, gallons upon gallons of bubbly, enough Moët and Chandon to fund a small coup in Luxembourg, because Dirty Bertie didn't believe in water unless it was sparkling and could get you drunk through your skin. Champagne in the crack and other royal delights. The tub became an aquatic amphitheatre of sin. Bertie would recline like a corpulent Neptune, surrounded by frolicking courtesans who wore nothing but body glitter and bad decisions. Some poured the champagne, some poured themselves. Others just sat on the edge and laughed politely while wondering if they'd be paid in francs or pearls. Let's be honest, at any given moment, at least 3 French women and 1 bewildered poodle were probably in that tub. The air, thick with steam, scandal, and questionable hygiene. The floor, a post-apocalyptic battlefield of damp garters, rogue champagne corks, and whatever remained of someone's dignity. And the Swan Lady statue, still perched at the edge of the tub like a feathered guardian of sins, silently judging all, probably planning a memoir. So what did the bathtub look like? Ah, yes. Not your average clawfoot affair for a discreet evening soak. This was a gilded, oversized marble monstrosity, more Roman orgy than Royal Doulton, set right in the middle of a private suite at Le Chabanais. It was said to be so large that half a rugby team could have scrummaged in it, and still had room for a buffet table. The tub was lined with copper and plated in silver, designed to retain heat long enough for a 3-hour soak, a dozen rounds of champagne, and perhaps a musical interlude on the in-room harp. It came with a personal tap for chilled Moët, and yes, that is not an exaggeration. Champagne on tap, straight into the bath. The water itself was often infused with rose petals, milk, or something suspiciously fizzy, depending on the night's menu of indulgence. Courtesans would slide in, already glistening with the oil and sequins, while Bertie would sink into the suds like a beached aristocratic whale, grunting in satisfaction as the bubbles rose, sometimes more from laughter than bath salts. There were no modesty curtains, but there was a mirrored ceiling, because of course there was. The aftermath, tub of legend, liver of steel. As for what happened to the tub, it vanished. Some say it was melted down during World War II and now lives on as part of a church bell, ringing out ironically on Sundays. Others whisper that a billionaire bought it at auction and uses it to chill caviar or possibly bathe their Italian greyhound. Either way, it's gone, but its legacy lives on, in museums, pop culture, and the dreams of every overworked historian trying to write serious royal biographies while thinking, this man literally marinated in Dom Perignon and filth. Dirty Bertie, the original bathtub influencer. Edward VII was the template for every man who's ever captured a shirtless bubble bath photo with self-care. He did it first, and he did it with swan erotica, full frontal courtesans, and a tub that cost more than some duchies. This was no draw a bath and sip wine situation. This was get naked, invite 10 of your closest courtesans, pour several £1,000s worth of alcohol into a metallic Roman sex cauldron, and then sit in it like you're marinating for scandal. Meanwhile, back in England, Queen Victoria was somewhere across the channel, writing in her diary about how everything smelled like brimstone since Albert died, blissfully unaware or stubbornly pretending that her eldest son was turning the French DDP into erotic soup. Truly, the man took cleanliness is next to godliness and turned it into nudity is next to nobility. Final soapy thoughts. Next time you light a candle, pour yourself a glass of supermarket Prosecco and sink into your £29.99 bathtub. Just remember, Edward VII bathed in the equivalent of a Rolls-Royce resale value, in a tub bigger than your kitchen, with a judgmental swan and a small army of naked French professionals. And you know what? We salute him, the champagne king, the soaked sovereign, the bubbly baron of the Belle Époque. He didn't just raise eyebrows, he raised bubbles.